Welcome to the Locker, Season 6, Episode 9. I'm your man, A. White. I got a shade of, along with Van House. We're supposed to be having storms and stuff up here, so if this thing kicks up, yeah, buddy, it's supposed to be bad.
Bad?
Yeah, man. There's a state of emergency. You're supposed to be, I think, from 10 to maybe a little bit more, 10, but it's supposed to go through, I guess, coming across the state, central part, I guess, till about 12 or 1. But I think it's supposed to be on for 2 days. Supposed to be on high alert for 2 days, though.
So, that's not good. Y'all stay safe out there now.
Yeah, you know how we got to do, man. Try to keep hunkered down, man. So if the thing cut off, man, I'm going to find protection in the lower level.
I feel you.
We're in the bathroom. Shoot, man, there's been a lot going on this week, man. I tried to get one of a former player to come on here with us, and a former female, a basketball player. To come on here. We've been discussing a lot of stuff, man. I've been throwing this thing around for, what's today? Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. So about 4 days we've been throwing this stuff around. There's been so many different angles on things going on in the program, our fan base, as usual. I ain't part of no other fan base, so I was never part of Ohio State's fan base, so I don't know how fans actually act other places.
Right.
So there's a whole lot to unravel. I'm curious, and this is a perfect place for her. The animation that she was providing and her thoughts. This is a perfect place for it, because I think the audience is the audience may be a little bit different. Well, ain't little, maybe, but a little bit different than the audience that listened to Sunday morning when all this news about Cassidy Rowe was fresh off the thing. You know what I thought about, though?
What you thought about?
Talking to this player. The first thing out their mouth was something about how you feel about so? I was like, just that? That's it? Yeah. I don't give a F. And I was like, oh. Well, let's talk about it. So it got a little animated. But you know what I thought about, though? So in the first 15 minutes of discussing this with another former player, female player.
Damn, okay.
You know who else was kicked off the team?
Who?
In college?
Who? You talking about females. So I'm trying to figure out that angle.
We don't know that. I'm talking about everything. This thing about to trickle over the boys' basketball. This thing about to trickle over the.
All I gotta say is 2 people on this broadcast, and it wasn't me.
You know how many, and people don't keep up with this. This is why I'm gonna see what kind of angle this thing goes from the people viewing. That's why I would like somebody to call in, so it won't have to go comment. Everybody change the direction of the conversation, because I need people to answer questions. I need you to answer honestly and directly, like you on trial, because you can't back up once I get to a whole nother point. You can't back up and change your original point. So just answer the question how you truly feel.
You talking to me?
And everything will be all right, huh?
You talking to me?
No. Oh. I'm saying if somebody in the comments, so basically on Sunday morning, that's what everybody was doing.
I got you.
And now I'm talking to like former players, casual fan of sports. Some people from here, some people not from here. Because what it got me thinking of is, you know how many in the past year, I just thought, well, I know some stuff is why I'm asking you this. You know how many football players was asked to not return? No, Kentucky players. I don't mean football. I mean Kentucky players.
You said how many? Like a number?
You don't know directly, because there's walk-ons. There's
I got feelings. I got feelings on a few. I got feelings. I'm gonna say this. It's more than 5. I'm gonna say it's venture. I would say this. it's closer to 20 than it is 10.
I would say so too. I would say so
Dude,
too.
And this, I'll go ahead and finish because I have some stuff to say.
Well, I say that because this is what I woke up around midnight because I fell asleep early. I fell asleep about 4. About 8. I woke up about midnight and I was just looking through tweets. I was tagged in some and I was just kind of like, and people were saying, some people from the state, some people not from the state, some people of different races were saying, where was all this when Tyler left? Or where was all this when such and such left? What's the girl's name from Frankfurt that left when Brooks first got here? Well, she was just casualty of a new coach.
I know you're talking about.
But she's a hometown girl.
Yes, I can't think
home state girl.
Yep.
And it wasn't no big. So I don't know. So I ain't gonna speculate on this show. But the more I've been listening to some stuff, and this is not only gonna be a Cassidy Rowe thing. It's gonna spread out across so many things. Is why I started with, because there's so many aspects to look at to this whole thing.
I want to address two things, and this is the two things I want to address, because you tweeted about Cutler's interview with her dad. First of all, as a father of a girl, you are going to protect your girl. There is nothing that she could do that's gonna not make you go to bat for your daughter. A girl's dad is a privilege. So that's the one thing. That angle, that interview was gonna go a certain way. Here is the thing that I had a problem with, but I'm gonna agree with one part. This is the one thing that I personally believe, as someone who played for 4 years, and this day was special. I don't like the fact that they didn't let her have senior day. Now, I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can do it, but of all the things that I have heard, that's the only thing that I can be like, all right, Kenny Brooks, that ain't right. But how can you make it right when you don't know in the middle of the season at the last home game that this was going to be the angle that was going to happen in the season? But that's the only thing that I can be like, all right, man, that's a point. The biggest problem that I had, brother Anthony, is that Mr. Cutler thought that Kentucky should pay for this year of her PT school. That is the most utter BS that I have ever heard in a long time. Because we don't owe her anything, because all you get, in my opinion, from your scholarship, you get your degree. She graduated. The majority of us don't get postgraduate tuition. I would say 99% of football players don't get postgraduate payment. So now you feel like they supposed to pay for that? Come on, man. That is the biggest reach that I can ever fathom. I have come on here, I've gone on my Twitter feed and love our Cassidy Rowe play. I love her intensity. I love the way she played, all that good stuff. The other thing is, well, there's 15 scholarships. Well, they can just give one to somebody. So now, for all of you, that's double fold on that. For all you people whom complain about entitlement of kids, and everybody gets a medal, and everybody gets a trophy, and all that stuff. So basically, you telling me, oh, we're just gonna give somebody just because she's from Kentucky. If she was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you wouldn't feel the same way. So just because she's from the state of Kentucky and playing in Eastern Kentucky, now you feel like because she deserves the 15 scholarship. First of all, as a person who has a kid in college trying to get on a team, with all this new age of sports and the revenue sharing, you really don't know it's going to be 15 scholarships anymore. That's not a guarantee anymore. We don't know it's going to be 15, 14, 13, 12. You just don't know anymore. So to say that she can be the 15th scholarship is twofold wrong, because basically just giving it to her. And second of all, we might not be at that point.
Right.
So
I'm gonna go back really quick. Go back and let me ask you this before you get too far away from that point. So you and Cobby Cobb on the same thing, saying that they should make it a policy that everybody who should graduate should walk on senior night. Now you can't have it both ways, man.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
because she graduated. Is it a graduate? Like you walk across the court because you graduated? I never graduated during my playing time. So I had senior year. Yeah. Lynn Bowden didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Deion Walker did it, though. Deion Walker did it, didn't he?
I'm not sure. Because Deion Walker's only in 3 years. He finished in 3 years?
No, I'm saying just the idea that he wasn't coming back, maybe. I thought I seen a picture of him holding his jersey at that party. The ceremonies, involved in the ceremonies. But
I'm going to say this.
That would have told the tale, so I'm not 100% certain of that.
I'm going to say this. As a senior, if you're going to leave school early, you ain't a part of senior day. You ain't in my class. No, it's just like Mo Williams when he left early, that don't look right. No, you can't do that. And that's why I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek. That's the only thing that you can complain about with this ordeal is that she doesn't get a senior night. That's really it. All the ladies in this program, all I heard, these ladies represent the program great. They do this, and that, and this and that. They are pillars of the program. They're great examples for the young girls in the state. But now I'm hearing, well, Cassie Rowe does the best of all of them. That isn't a prerequisite to you getting another year. It's just not. How many guys, and this is in the 1900s, how many guys that we played with all of a sudden wasn't on the team and was like EKU the next year?
Yeah. I don't know. Y'all, well, you did you ever coach? You never had a coaching change, did you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Doc. You remember a running back named Darnell Gordon? You remember the other dude from San Francisco? When mommy came.
Yeah. We had a quarterback from San Francisco too.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Clay. There's so many. We act like this is a girl from LSU, Samaya Smith.
Yeah.
Who was a baller for LSU. Now she's not on the team. She's in the portal. The word around the streets is maybe they kind of forced her in the portal. Like this stuff happens. No one is immune to this. I remember this. This is one I remember because it was F's daughter. I don't know if the girl played on the high school team with her or played on the AAU team with her. She was from Kentucky, and Mitchell had her go to West Kentucky. Rogers girl. But why all of a sudden, and this is my thing, you can complain and say all this stuff, but when you drag a coach name in the mud, call him all kind of different names, and more importantly, like, I'm not going to support the women's basketball program. So what you telling me is there's how many more girls? 14 more girls on the team. You ain't going to support those. As y'all said when Cal was here, Cal is not bigger than the brand.
Right.
Kenny Brooks is not bigger than the brand. So why would you not support the other ladies on this team that's doing this? Cassie Rowe is not the only person who go to workout, go to class, do extra workouts, put up. She's not the only one. But now you're gonna say F the program because of this? That is a strong statement. So that means, were you really supporting the program anyway? Or do you just hear this now? I'm just gonna. That's a load of BS to me.
So you got me thinking. I didn't want to go down this route, but you got me thinking. And this is what I was afraid of. I wasn't afraid of this. I was afraid of it's going to turn into name calling or hate. And here's what I say. And the only thing I was thinking about when you were saying, because you're absolutely right on everything you said, from any aspect, just as a player from Baton Rouge, me from a player or an athlete from Twinsburg, people don't really care what happened with you. People don't care what happened with me. But because she is from here, I understand everybody loving her, like you said. But do you love Kentucky basketball? Because what were the Kansas State was an Elite 8 game or Sweet 16?
That was a Sweet 6. Whoa. Kansas State, that was the second game. That had to be round of 32.
No, I thought that was Sweet 16, or that was getting the Sweet 16.
That was the getting the Sweet 16.
Okay, so we was a floater away from being in the Sweet 16 in his first year. But so
and if you don't, that Joker's he put up the perfect sideline out of bounds play.
Oh,
you can't get your point guard right at the rim, right? So he didn't miss the shot.
So now stay with me. Stay with me. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly for a second. And my man Larry Vaught ain't gonna like it at all. I ain't doing nothing but what I told you to do. Your screen is going off. Weather may be something might be on the weather, so you may have to go out.
No, I had to get up for a second.
Oh, okay. So they so everything you said is perfectly fine. So Kobe Cobb and I'm talking about, she should walk if she graduated. They ain't never done that for no. And here's where me and the former player was saying, why are you making all these exceptions all of a sudden? And if you make the exceptions once, you will have to make them all the time. Now here are the two things that got me really, really thinking. These are the two things that got me really, really thinking. And I need you to tell me, because everybody knows. I'm pretty sure I know what I know. But everybody, and I'm not going on record saying I know it, but everybody knows that the coach's daughter is on scholarship. The coach's kids get free education. So what would the point of putting her on? She can be a walk-on and still have her education paid for.
I thought she's a walk-on anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. You read no, you're wrong. I'm talking about people. I learned from a credible source. I'm like, it's not hard to find out. But I'm talking about people that have followings, so they whole thing. So this is what really pisses me off. And this, okay, I'm back on it. Because this is what pissed me off. Because then they started attacking Gabby. They started attacking his daughter. Why she got a spot? You ain't seen that narrative?
No, I haven't seen it.
So let me hurry up and get to my point. So this was my point based off everything you said. You should feel bad for her. I wouldn't be mad if Coach did save a spot for her or let her stick around. Two things to this whole ordeal, man. Two things to this whole ordeal. One, that timing came out immediately after that. It wasn't I enjoyed my time here. I love Big Blue Nation. I'm really going to miss playing the game. Coach Brooks was a great guy. Could have said anything. The narrative was set up that you would absolutely know that she was asked not to return, which is fine. But the pity party should only come from Kentucky fans, Eastern Kentucky fans, wherever she's from, Western, Eastern, whichever side. But my point was, the biggest point about all that is everybody's mad. And now you just pointed out, which made me think about it, because they're not getting her, paying for her extra degree. Now, hold on to your seat. The big problem on Alan Cutler's thing and the big problem on Sunday morning was she had already started her doctorate, and the only places they got a program is here, and there. So she can't transfer at this point. So we need to sacrifice. So we need to sacrifice so she don't. Again, we need to sacrifice so she can finish school. I'm not knocking her. I'm saying from former players what I'm hearing. All these things if I wanted to pick a narrative and I wasn't for the players, all scream entitlement. Because why does she deserve any of these things more than anybody else? And it's not her. I don't care what the name was. I don't care if his name was Erica White. Right. It would be the same conversation.
Exactly.
And that's what it seems like. There's a bunch of entitled. The people expected her to get a bunch of entitled things, like you said. You keep pointing out what a normal player don't get. It's normal player don't get. Everybody practices. Then the whole idea of this is the one thing. My boy from Indiana, and the former player was having a discussion. They said, "Was she? It was not a her thing, but our fan base. That's where I wanted to get to. How loud they think they are, or how much pull they have, or how much pull they really. I have no idea. But if something happens, they always take credit for it, good or bad. They also may want to take credit for the rosters that Kelsey was putting out there. And so when she put a roster full of Kentucky players out there and you happy, and she get fired, where was the uproar then? It's time for her to go. Even at this point, we one shot away from Sweet 16. It's time for Brooks to go. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between who calls the shots. And the only person that we feel like in this whole thing, because business is business at the end of the day.
Business is business.
Brooks is just doing business. He don't care about if you take the names out, take the schools off, like you said earlier. Take the names off of the people, the schools off of the people, the names off the jersey, who the kid was, and just tell the scenario. What would somebody say? But I also thought but I'm gonna ask you this before you go on. Hold on, let me ask you this before you go on. Have you ever, maybe a disgruntled player, but have you ever seen a player, like I said, the wording, because the wording she has now, they pray for Coach Brooks, and they want the best for Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks needs to pray. All this. Have you ever actually heard a player open up I'm talking about on their way out? Now, I'm sure it's happened at times or two, but somebody who loved the university, loved their time. Have you ever really heard a player open up about negative stuff immediately after? So I'm starting to kind of, not trying to build a narrative, but these are all the questions being asked to me, and I'm asking them to you and the people watching.
Yeah, I don't think so, Anthony. It all, as we talk about this, the more we talk about it, the more disgruntled I get. Because the one thing I heard was, well, why didn't he cut her before this season? Why he let her take another year? Because he needed an extra spot. He needed a body. Yeah. He had 2 girls on his team that got hurt preseason. He needed the bodies. He came in here late. So now, would it have been, because what I heard, it would have been better, he would have let her play this. He would have let her walk before he got here. Stay in. Y'all would have been pissed.
Would have been in. Yeah.
Imagine him cutting the sweetheart from East Kentucky before the season starts. Like all these narratives, she got. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this narrative up. He did her a favor by allowing her to graduate in December. He need kudos for bringing her on the team, for a person who does not average 10 points, 12 points, whatever minutes. She is a great representative of Kentucky. So he allowed her to get her degree. Kudos to Kenny Brooks for allowing her to take the 15th scholarship and get her degree. How about we take that angle? Because that's the missing part. Now it's like, well, since he gave her this year, he should have gave her another one. Why?
It's getting worse, man. The more logic you use, it's getting worse.
I'm gonna say this again. I really enjoyed the way Cassie Rowe played when she got in. You definitely knew when she was in the game.
Right.
No problem with that part. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. we talk about this with some football players. Couple things. When a freshman jump you, you're done. Cassie Rowe, from what I heard out of the interview, she knew that she was not SEC caliber talent, but she wanted to wear the Kentucky across her chest. That's what I got. I got in that interview, not verbatim, but her dad, Cutler, said that she could have went to some smaller schools and been like a legend at a smaller school. But she wanted to come here. So in all, if you think about it, she got everything, all the experience that she could have gotten out of it. Got a degree, got to wear the Kentucky across her chest for 3 years. She played in some big games. What else as a Kentucky? I would say this. What else if I was a Louisiana kid that wanted to play for LSU? Not only did I run through the tunnel, I actually played on defense or I played on offense. I played snaps. And in my senior year, they say, man, you know what? We got this DB coming from California. We got 2 or 3 of them. You know, and we're kind of low on scholarships. Hey, we appreciate your time, your contribution. But your senior year, unfortunately, you're going to have to, we got to go another direction. Coach, I appreciate these 3 years. This was my dream, to run through that tunnel next to Mike the Tiger, whatever, all that good stuff you can say at LSU. This was my dream. I conquered everything I didn't think I could do, and now I understand. Now here's the thing. I have the option to stay at Kentucky or stay at LSU and finish my degree, finish my elevated degree, or I have the option to say, you know what, y'all? I'm going to go to whomever. Screw the PT right now. I'm going to take a gap year, so to speak. I'm going to go play for somebody else and take 2 business master classes so I can at least play. If you really want to do that, you can do it. Don't give me that, her grades will transfer over. She's going to have to pay for college anyway. If she's good enough, why can't I? If I really want to play my last year and walk on senior day, go find someone else you can play. And then when that you only got to go for what? I guess basketball a whole year. You got the whole year. She go that whole year, then she comes back to Kentucky and pick up on her PT.
Now you're speaking too much logic. Because every time you speak to him, I get a whole nother thought. Because here's the thing. You know what? Who's that? So we talk about this in the department. We talk about this in the Department of Education. The kids do something. The administrators scared of the legal department. The legal department scared of the parents. The parents scared of it's just a big ass circle that go around. The only person ain't scared in this whole thing is the kids. It start with the kids, but can't nobody do nothing to them. Can't nobody do nothing to this. It just keeps going up. The one thing I was just talking about, and all the narratives I heard, and you made a hell of a point. Now, here's where the good thing is when you tune into the locker. You're talking to 2 guys who actually got to play their senior year. But now, mind you, we both played our senior year. We weren't just on the team and not playing our senior year, which that has nothing to do with anything. But it takes me to this. All this stuff that everybody's mad that she's not getting, they want Kenny Brooks to sacrifice, UK to sacrifice. What is she sacrificing? Because you made a hell of a point right there. Drop out PT school if it ain't that. If playing basketball is more important to you, but the bigger damn narrative you gave was, what if you would have cut her before this year? What if you would have cut her with the girl from Frankfurt? She may not have got her degree, or she would come out of her own pocket for it. But why? Like, I don't know, man. Now you're starting to make a whole lot of sense, but it's starting to seem like a bashing too. But it's logic. So all we doing is rendering logic, and you do what you want with the information.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part to do, is that when you are contrary to the masses, it sounds like it's a problem. Stephen, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She would have a gap year. Look, the great thing about playing basketball when you're a graduate student is you don't have to take the required 12 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
You can take one as long as you're progressing through that master's degree. We're not. What I'm saying is that I purposely said a gap year. So this year, in her estimation, really means nothing to her. She's just taking classes just to be eligible to play. That's really what it's all about. That's why I said business class. Just take a business class, and if you want to continue it later, then you get it. You already got the year in. All you need is one more year. You get your MBA and your PT. So it's just it's a fake year potentially if you don't want to do it. But if you really love to play the game of basketball, I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up because Kenny Brooks wants to go another direction. She can still play at West Kentucky. She can go back home and play at East Kentucky. She can play at Morehead State. There's other options if she really wants to play the game of basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear, well, she only want to play at University of Kentucky. Okay. Well, she played it. She accomplished that dream. If she wants a senior night, go somewhere else, put up some numbers, put that chip on your shoulder. Motherfucker, why you let me go? Bam, 20. Bam, 30. I'm averaging 20 points a night at West Kentucky. Okay, show him what he missed. But don't come here with this sad story of, oh, he let me go and I really wanted to finish. You still have to finish.
I will say this. There ain't a whole lot of skinny on football practice as of yet. This was their first week of real competition, Cobby Cobb. But I will say this. The one point you did make was dang, I lost my train of thought. And this is the thing I made me scratch my head on Sunday was how it came out so quick was the first part. The second part was if she wanted to make herself look like a good person or the victim, not saying she was victimized. The more we throw these facts around, it sounds like she may have just been entitled. But if she leaves, says, thanks for the 3 years. Hey, now mind you, I tell you, I love Coach Curry. And Coach Curry, I do I agree with the decision? I don't think I've ever publicly said nothing bad about him. Now, money?
No.
And you flat? No. But I never said nothing bad about Coach Curry. Could have ended my career then.
Right.
But my point was, if she comes out, like you said, I always wanted to play for Kentucky. I got the chance to do that. I got my degree. I'm moving on. Now she could have did a Larry Vaught article later or something. Well, I'm hearing because Larry Vaught, that guy. I don't mean in a bad way, but he don't mind, stirring the pot. Well, I'm not sure Cassie Rose ready to hang him up.
Right.
And in the interview, she said, the only thing she wants to do is play her senior year. Now people start scratching their head. Why didn't she? She's a bigger person to say something. She wouldn't never say nothing, but it seemed like she wouldn't offer back her scholarship. But the whole idea, that would have been a perfect thing to say, what you said. Appreciate 3 years. I always wanted to play for Kentucky. I did that. I got my degree. I'm going to, hang them up and go get my doctorate. Whatever the case might be. But it just came across. Now the more we think about it, I said it came across too quick. So I don't know if you had a chance to think about it. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to your dad about what you should say. But it came across as I was forced out of basketball. Like none of that seemed like you enjoyed your time here. You glossed over the fact you enjoyed your time here. But the rest of it was, I didn't want to quit. Now I got to quit. Now I'm starting to sound really entitled. So that's why I got to hear the other side. But go ahead.
And I need to look. Honestly, if I'm kidding, I need to address this. You know what? Like what? Because now, as you said earlier, if I address this one, now I got to address all of it. Every time a girl leaves, I got to address it. This happens year after year. We had the same. People was wondering why Matthew Mitchell, that's 1 year, lost all these girls. This ain't the first time it happens, and it ain't gonna be the last. And the uproar, the uproar for this is a little misplaced. You can be upset, you can be frustrated, you can be disappointed, but some of the stuff that I've read is way out of line. And as I said earlier, as a girl dad, I think it's disingenuous to have a girl dad on the radio when he is going to only add more gas to the flame. Because there's nothing he can say that's going to make it better. Because I'm laying on this sword for my daughter. Period. I don't care what's going on. I'm laying on the sword, and you cannot force me to say anything other than for my daughter. So what you're going to get? You're going to get the exact same thing you've been getting from everybody else. You just making it worse.
Until you get two real ones on the podcast on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. that's breaking down facts, because it's really starting to flip on her, because everybody's wondering what the other side of the story is. But now all the narrative I'm hearing, but it's mostly from former players. Some of them are from Kentucky. It's mostly coming from former players that, you know, like you said, why didn't they just give her this? Like, one, you can't do it for one. You got to start doing it for all. But if he's any businessman has to make tough decisions at some point in time. You always got to make tough decisions. Always got. And like I said, this may and if you look at like the narratives that people are putting out there or the stats, like you said, she got it. She got everything you come to school for. She got to play for the team. She wasn't gonna get on the court a whole lot the coming up year. She got her degree. But y'all saying they should let her stay on the team one more year so she can go back to school. But like you said, if it's all about basketball, then just go somewhere and play. If it's really about your degree, and he's not gonna let you play, I'm more on that angle now. Where what if he told her, look, we shorthanded, we're gonna keep you this year. So now you trying to get the whole state against me to keep you another year? That's kind of, I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for her, man. Like I said, but one, I guess she could speak out, but I'm sure she's reading every damn thing. There's people on here probably reporting back to her. But I just kind of feel as if, especially when they started being Gabby Brooks out. Like, what about her? Well, she should be off the team too. Like, why don't she step up? Like, hey, y'all. Here's the other MFing thing. Why doesn't all of Eastern Kentucky just pay for her degree? I mean, I'm saying it, and
no, that's a good one. A GoFundMe. Get a GoFundMe.
You do a GoFundMe, and you know. But here's one thing that pissed me off. When I like Walker Woods, I just like him as a person. For a white dude, he got swag, but I like him, and I liked him at Lafayette because, you know, as a quarterback, he was just smooth. Was he going to be quarterback here? Wasn't big enough. But I just liked him as a person. He left here. I wasn't in an uproar, but I say, I understand you leaving. You're not going to get to play here. You went to the state finals 2 years in a row, your junior and senior year, which is hard to do. But he left, took it like, man, nobody ever said, man, that's messed up what they did to Walker. What's the difference? He wasn't going to play. He was a 2-time state champion runner-up. So I don't know. I'm going to tell Big Blue Nation, y'all probably need to just lighten up on this situation, because it's from once all the facts and just logic starts kicking in, yeah, it ain't gonna do nothing but make it worse for the girl. If everybody want to band together and get her school paid for, because I'm with you, I don't think Kenny Brooks should respond. And here's the thing, and like you said, you be to open up a can of worms. You respond, and this is not, like I said, I love everything. We've had her on Sunday Morning Sports Talk. You know, I kind of figured when we had her on there, that was the route we were going with Kyra. Like, we were just bringing in the good old Kentucky girl. We really love to see you play. We didn't care about winning no game. We just want to see you play. But I just think that's going to be, that's going to be the narrative. I think people going to just jump all over her more or less now, because she done called the coach out. He can't respond to it. And what does he look like responding to a player that the state loves? One, did everything you asked her to do. Apparently, I don't know about it. Did everything you asked him to do, and was not going to contribute on your team. So why would you comment on the person that's not going to contribute?
Anthony. Exactly. at the beginning of the season, Cassie was getting minutes. At the end of the season, Cassie was getting no minutes. So now you went from, like I said, we lost 2 girls, Obi and Porova, beginning of the season. If those 2 girls are here, her nor Sanaya would have got minutes. That's just a fact. So now Cassie started the season, then Sanaya took Cassie minutes. That's how it rolls. Sanaya, I don't know. You have to tell me if they took her, if they told her, if they took her scholarship like they took Cassie. I don't know. You have to tell me. But she went into the portal. Now, I'm going to say this. If she didn't go into the portal last year and she stuck around for a new regime coming around, I'm thinking she might have wanted to stay around another year. You just don't stay and then leave. So I'm pretty sure there was a conversation. We have had this talk on this show in the past. Coach brings you to the office. Either we can do it, this separation can be amicable. Yeah. I can make your life a living hell. Whichever way it is, you won't have your scholarship. What we can be adults and split graciously, or this can be a problem. It's your call. But I'm coming to you man to man, letting you know, a woman to woman, whatever, coming to you, adult to adult, coming to you like, look, we need your scholarship. It's a rough thing to hear. It's a rough thing to get called in and get cut in the NFL. So I'm letting you know, it's not an easy thing. But whatever happens is, as long as they are front with you, look, we go in this direction. I appreciate you carrying us this season because we really needed you. But next year, we are looking for taller, longer players that can play in this conference. And for all those people say the 15 scholarship, the same thing freaking happened this year. You lose 2 or 3 players, that 15th becomes 10. Can become 9. You have a couple of like anything can happen where even though you 12, 13 play on the bench, you can become 6, 7 in a heartbeat. So don't just think, oh, we're just gonna give scholarships away. That's not how life works. And I feel for her because she really wanted to finish, but you got your degree. Did Sanaa get her degree?
I don't know. Wait a minute. You said you feel for she really wanted to finish. I had a whole nother topic.
No, I understand.
Who don't want to finish? Unless you transfer yourself, who don't?
No, but I understand that I'm a Kentucky girl. Not saying it's right, but I understand I'm a Kentucky girl. I want to have my senior year wearing a Kentucky across my chest. I get it. But life ain't fair. It's just not. I understand what you wanted, but we don't get it. I want to be 6'4" and be a quarterback. It didn't happen. Life ain't fair. I was 6'2". I was 6'2" dead. My mom is 5'8". So it's just not fair.
Let me ask you this, Van House. All we're doing is we're just regurgitating facts.
Yeah, you're right.
All we're doing is regurgitating facts. Van House, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And here's where I'm at. And this is the reality between 2 people who was there. Were we from Kentucky? No. Did anybody owe us something? No. Well, my mama did come down here and cuss Curry out when she kicked me out the team. So my mama did stick up for me. Van House, when Bill Curry got fired, do you feel like you or some aspect of the team did not? Do you feel like you or some aspect of the team caused his firing?
Yes.
No. So the product he was putting out there was fine. I can name a whole lot of Kentucky players. Not saying that's good or bad or not. I'm not saying it.
No,
the point was the coach got fired, and when the new coach came in, nobody said nothing about T. Woods leaving.
No.
What's Lunatic's name? I can go and name it all kinds of people. But like I said, but I remember you always talking about when Coach Curry got fired, y'all was upset. Now, maybe you felt like you did your job, but it wasn't enough of y'all doing your job. Now, we lined you up against some guys that can do their job big enough, fast enough, strong enough. Give us half of Florida's team back then, and you just do your assignment. That's fine. But if you say if you ain't performing, hey, coach, man, I just want to stay. Just let me get my. And that's that tough conversation you was talking about. Because I know what's going on. I know for a fact it's going on right now. Hey, look, when this spring over, if you ain't made that turn,
right.
Hey, I'm letting you know now. So you can start making plans. You can, don't unpack your bags.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna look, Van. I love what you do. I love your tenacity. I love your hard working. I'm going to help you move on. I'm going to talk to people whom I know that you can literally play for, and we're going to push you to them. You just can't play for us. And I know that conversation happens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it happens all the time. Like you said, on the next level, too. When I should have told John Gruden, my only hope was ever to play in the NFL for the Raiders, man. Come on, man. Let me get my first year in, or let me get
give me one
my contract spot, year, Coach. My pension year, huh?
Yeah, Coach, give me a practice squad spot, Coach. Come on.
This ain't funny.
1 year, Coach.
But I was thinking about when you was talking before. This for all the adults on here, because mostly adults on here. This for all the adults on there, and I thought about it. I've been fired from like a regular job. I've been let go twice. And that ain't no good feeling. Like to be let go. Now, if you get a promotion, or you just decide to leave or whatever, but to get let go, that ain't never a good feeling. So I understand why Cassie probably feels a certain way. If Brooks was dishonest or not forthright with her, which everybody is saying, I don't see that being the case. Is why on Sunday morning, like I said, I want to reserve my thoughts, just because I don't know that to be the case. But now everybody coming out the woodworks, making fake accounts. Well, he was like that at Virginia Tech. We didn't want him. Good riddance to him. And I'm just like, I don't know. And the one thing that the former player did say, that girl's gonna go on about her life, make a lot of money, do a lot of great things, and this situation is gonna be history. Yep. Now, if Kenny Brooks win the national championship, make some Final Fours, everybody gonna be happy. Like, this moment probably never really happened. Now, if he stink it up, the first game we lose next year, first game we see. I told y'all we put Cassidy in the last couple of seconds to inbound the ball, man. So,
yeah,
I did.
I am. This basketball is getting crazy, and I love basketball. I don't think people understand that I love basketball, and the way the fans are acting now, with this is what the best time in basketball since we had Mitchell and Cal at the same time. Like, we are actually winning both teams. The projection for both teams is going up. Even after this season, no one expected us to be this good on neither men or women. With the short turnaround, putting the roster together, putting the coaching staff together, for them to get to where for these women to win the games they won, for the men to beat some of the top 5 teams they beat, and we are not happy right now. People are losing their mind over the Porter additions. People are losing their mind over Cassie Rowe leaving. People are losing their mind over a great basketball season. I don't know if anybody expected this out of these two teams, and they exceeded my expectations. But we are not we. There are people within the fan base that are disgruntled after disgruntled. They're always disgruntled. And I don't get it. If this program gives you joy, as people out here say, appreciate the joy while it's happening. The basketball season ain't even over with yet. We still got Final Four games.
Yeah.
And people are pissing down the back of these coaches, both of them.
Yeah. They I did want to ask you about this. I heard this narrative from somewhere. You know, the one other thing when you're talking about, my other question is the fan base, is there enough of the fan base? Are they loud enough or impactful enough to make it not, they ain't gonna get them fired or nothing, but really to stop going to the games and they gonna do all this, and are they upset enough to make it tough on him in general? Because like I said, don't nobody want to coach here. We winning. Don't nobody want to coach here if y'all always want to be on somebody's head every time something go wrong. And that ain't really nothing went wrong. Like I said, it was a bad. You pointed out eloquently. She got everything she should have got from the university. Now Brooks would have been a stand-up guy if he did keep her a spot. If he did just let her stay to finish school. Now that'd be a stand-up guy. But we saying you gotta do that for everybody now. You gotta do it. You gotta do it for everybody. Especially if you're bringing in Kentucky girls. Like the girl, like we were talking to work earlier today. Dude asked, where the top two girls from Kentucky go? LSU and South Carolina, I thought.
South Carolina,
yeah. But y'all want us to win. You heard anything about the NIL? You heard any rumbling? I know you ain't too close to the local.
I don't know anything about that. I really don't. I couldn't even guess how much money she was getting.
No, I'm saying that the fact that she was taken from the pot, period.
Oh.
But then again, they would just give his cold money and they were just giving it to her.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that hurts anybody else.
Yeah, I don't think that's a factor.
And then there's a split too. Then there's that split. Is that split
now
coming
it's
this year?
A split. Yeah, it's gonna be a split this year. That's why I'm saying that they might not have 15 scholarships. It's revenue sharing. Mitch can come down and say, look, this year basketball, we only going with 12. That's all the money that we can allocate. So
all right.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna segue into this one. Last week, I said that I'm not doing any prediction for football. I am getting closer to feeling a little frisky about this football season.
I ain't joining you this year.
I know. No. I am getting close to saying we definitely going to be 6-6.
All right, well, that's the end of the show. I ain't got nothing for that.
That I'm feeling, Anthony. I'm feeling
in skimmies,
huh?
In skimmies. Come on, dog. How many? Hey man, how many scout team superstars you seen in skimmies?
No, Anthony, no. I don't, Anthony. We have talked on this show for years. I don't give a damn about no damn spring football.
Right.
Don't tell me shit. There is nothing from spring football that I can move to fall. There's nothing. There is no translation to the bowl. There's zero. What I am, the vibe is that we got rid of some of the problems. That's all. Anthony, I don't think Stoops, when he didn't have a talented team, won 5 games. A couple of years, he went 4-0 at the beginning of the season, or 5-0 at the beginning of the season. Right? So for me, he's gonna win a game or two that he shouldn't win. That's just been the history.
And he gonna lose a game or 7 he shouldn't.
Right. So that gets you to 6. There's 3 games we should win, right? There's 3 non-conference games we should win, right?
If he lose 7, he shouldn't. If he lose 7, he shouldn't win. You gonna and he lose the 4 we supposed to lose. Nah, go ahead, man.
I'm just saying. He gonna win. He should win the 3. Now we got Louisville, and we got to win 2 SEC games. Did we not win 2 SEC games this year?
Yeah, we had like 5 NFL. And
No. The question was, did we win 2 SEC games this year?
Yeah, did we?
Okay.
So wait a minute.
No, wait a minute.
We beat Ole Miss, and who else?
We might only won 1, Anthony.
Yeah, we had we won all the out of conference games except Louisville.
Oh,
and then
Anthony, you just hurt me. Oh my God, I'm hurting right now. Oh, that hurts.
We did.
We might only won the 1, Anthony.
It is because we won the 3 out of conference games, and then
Yeah, you're right.
And we lost to Louisville out of conference. We didn't go to 9-game home seat. We didn't go to 9-game SEC schedule this year, did we?
No, we were 1-7.
Okay.
So I'm gonna change it to 5. We gonna win.
You think Lane gonna let him get him? You think Lane gonna let him get us up here?
We're gonna win 1 conference game. Oh, that's too much. I'm always about to cry. All right. I feel better. I'm feeling better. The product is gonna be better. Scratch my prediction.
You said you feel better. The product is gonna be better.
Yes.
You mean the effort and execution?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All that is gonna be.
That's what gives me hope. But I just don't know how it's gonna come together.
Right. That's the
cook. What if you try a new season or a new sauce and you just don't know how much to put on there?
I do it all the time.
I'm saying it, man. Hey, you like it?
Hey, that's why my wife be mad at me because my recipes are sprinkle some on there. How many? A teaspoon? No. Just coat it. Just coat it. What does that mean? I don't know. Just coat it. You season to taste. Have you not seen recipes that say season to taste? Right. Let's season to taste. Let's see how much seasonings this team is going to put into that roux to finish this gumbo. I don't know if we're just going to be a chicken gumbo. We're going to be a chicken and andouille sausage gumbo. We're going to be a seafood gumbo. What we're going to be? We get to that seafood gumbo, Anthony. There's a lot of wins in that seafood gumbo. There's some oysters. There's some shrimp.
I don't like seafood.
I'm just on there's some extra in that seafood gumbo. Now we get to that seafood gumbo, then we can talk. I'm gonna say right now we on chicken and andouille sausage gumbo. No. We on that chicken and smoked sausage gumbo. Now we add another take, then we add the andouille in there.
I don't even know what andouille is.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. So everybody keep asking about the OC analysts. I'm not one. Van may engage in those. I'm not one to just have an opinion about everything. That's why I don't be on social media a whole lot. Just like before we move on to the next part, that's like when that Cassie Rose stuff was going around, and I was just scrolling through. Dude, you had the same jokers going on just random people's posts saying the same. It probably was cut and pasting the damn shit. Like, dude, you made your point. Like, nobody really cares. You made your point. But my point is this. I don't know the guy personally. I do know we have quality control people, which are just people who just do what the coaches ask them to do, bring the coach and make the coach's job easier. Now, an OC analyst, do I think we need another layer of hands in the pot? Or do you say that Bush Hamdan is that far behind that he needs somebody to give him feedback on it? I don't know. I just know. I know we done had a tough time with offensive coordinators these past couple of years. I don't know why now it might just be I'm gonna do something to show the country or to show Mitch and Big Blue Nation that we making strides over here, but I don't know about the whole idea of having somebody looking over offensive coordinator's shoulder.
This is to me what, when I heard it, because I didn't know when I heard it, what it harkened to me was Nick Saban and all those great analysts he had when he was at Alabama. It's like when you sit at a table, a coach's table, the key members sit on the big table, then you have the guys in the back. They are that's who your Barbie or whatever, how you say his name, Barbie's going to be. There's nothing wrong with having a guy who can say, hey coach, in game, on 3rd and 5, we were running the same damn formation, and they starting to pick up on, hey, I think we might need to change 3rd medium. Let's switch it up a little bit. Or when we go in motion, that strong safety weak side is coming down because we running weak side trap or something or whatever. Like those kind of things. When you're in the game, this, you call plays. When you're in the game, when you call the first play, you looking down the sheet for the next play.
Right.
You just waiting for them to say, what's the down and distance? You ain't the play is the play. You're not analyzing everything that happened to play, but it's also a guy nice to have upstairs who's able to analyze the play. So when you come back, hey, coach, that first down and 10, it's there, man. It's there. I'll run again. Maybe run out a different formation. So it's always nice to have another set of eyes. So I'm not sure if I'm not going to say he's worth 5 wins. I don't think that's the case. But it's always nice to have another set of eyes and someone maybe you respect that can give you some information during the week, during the game. Maybe can take some off your plate. Like maybe he can take the quarterbacks and you can oversee the running backs because they're whatever it is. Don't think that this is the special seasoning to get us to 8 wins. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't hurt to have those extra eyes.
Yeah, like I said, as long as we don't get what's that when marginal diminishing returns, putting too many hands in the pot. I'm cool with what you say. I just kind of feel. I think one thing about Bush, I did think he did a lot of movements, and maybe somebody needs to analyze, are all your movements necessary, or which ones you use off, which ones you should scratch. Maybe that, but I still don't think it's that. I don't think it's that type of move. You know what I think is more? It's one of two things for me. Is a scapegoat. If shit goes south, so he ain't got to change coordinators again, or it's the messenger. Offensive line ain't doing. I'm standing right behind the offensive line, coach, watching drills. No, see that guy's not getting his inside foot. He every play he's not getting So now you don't. The offensive coordinator ain't got to be clashing with a position coach.
Right.
Mark Stoops ain't got to be clashing with no assistants.
Right.
I think it's a scapegoat.
It can be all that. I'm not looking at it as a negative or a positive. I just look.
I really ain't got no opinion. Opinion. But at the end, it's gonna be that guy really helped and did something because we were inept in others. So that means he was the voice. Or if things look even worse than that. One thing I did hate when you said play. One thing I did hate about play calling, I had my reasoning for calling something. Sometimes if I didn't give my second running back the ball in 14 plays, I just give him the ball. On 2nd and 3. Like I could have picked it up passing. I had a lot of options. And no, man, just do this. Why you take him out? Now, mind you, I understand how the game flows, and it wasn't on a really high level.
Right.
But I do think I never really liked the idea when you don't know what's in my head. The same way you run over telling me obvious stuff, you hired me as a coordinator. So if I call a play, sit your tail down there.
No. And I'm gonna go to this, and I really appreciated this guy for a lot of reasons. So when I was with the Bears, Ron Rivera is an ex-Bear, and they brought him in as an analyst. So if y'all don't know, when I was at Kentucky, lifting was my thing. I was an Olympic lifter, power clean, snatch, all that stuff. When I went with the Bears, they had us doing those strongman competition, lifting cinder blocks, walking across like all that shit. I'm like, dude, this is not making me better. Never forget, Ron Rivera came into the weight room. He's just an analyst. We got to talk. I don't know how he figured out. We start power cleaning. He's like, listen to me, son. Do what you need to do. Don't worry about all this other. Do what you need to do, because our DBs, they took care of us. Like we had to go on a treadmill. We had to do a lot of stuff. He's like, but you got to remember what got you here and do what you need to do to prolong your career. Like those kind of things. He was an analyst. Maybe that's the thing that this guy can be. He can be that filter between players and coach. Maybe he can be a mentor to some players. Like there are many options for this. I don't think he's gonna be calling plays. I don't think he's gonna. I just think he's just an extra guy. And why not have as many guys who's not going to disrupt? If you're not going to disrupt the vibe of the coach's room, having more people in there only helps, because now you can delegate stuff, the little stuff, to guys who can make your job easier.
And maybe we got too many what they call, not grad assistants, quality control, and we got analysts. You know, when you were talking about Ron, remind me of when we was in St. Louis. So I used to work out with Marshall. You know, Marshall ain't do a whole lot of upper body, man. He do a little. Well, we was working out, and he was like, "Come over here, Rook." Doing legs, one leg curl, one leg press on the machine, one leg plyos, and then he was like, "You picking up anything?" I was like, "Yeah." So it's like, "What are you picking up?" I was talking about the weights he was using. You know how his stance. He was like, "No, I do everything on one leg." He said, as a running back, when are you going to make a move off 2 feet? And if you watch his game, that's why I'm going to jump and just be right back, jump cut and going up through. I was like, damn, I done played football for 20-some years and never found that and didn't know that until like you said, you got with somebody that knew that could give you that. So I'm gonna stay optimistic about it, man. Or I'm gonna stay middle mystic.
Yeah.
They middle mystic. Because I don't like a whole lot of hands in the pot, man, because that's just too many people to go around the blame. And on the offensive end.
Whoa. Don't think of a hands in the pot. Think of the hands that allowing you to carry the pot. There's only one hand in the pot, but
many eyes. Okay, we can say more eyes watching the pot. Hey, if you go in the bathroom too long, it's boiling over in here.
You said 10 minutes. It's 9 minutes and 58 seconds. You better come your ass up. Yeah. More eyes in the pot, yeah.
I give it that. Yeah, because remind me of the first thing I get to thinking of. Then we're gonna get out of it. First thing I got to thinking of, that Florida game when we left the wide receiver wide open.
Why Florida, man?
No, not that one, man. Come on, man.
Why got to bring up Florida games, man?
When we left, when we left the wide receiver wide open.
Yeah.
The person upstairs called the play. Stoops called the play. Person upstairs called the play. Shit, at some point, the corner like, man, I got to line up. I can't keep looking over here. And they were both, 3 different people everybody was doing the right thing that they picked up. But we changed the play too many times because there's too many people. And they're trying to call shots.
Y'all, I'm telling you, don't put I will say too much. Don't put any chicken stock in that pot because of spring football.
Right.
Don't leave that pot empty until fall comes. We don't need to waste that chicken stock on some bad vegetables and no. Just hold off. Spring football is a tune-up session. Honestly, now I guess it's Anthony. It might be a little different because you have portal guys. You gotta infuse the new guys in the system. But I'm gonna say you this: for the old guys who came from the season, their body beat up, you give them a break. This is time for the young kids to get more reps. Now, the old guys gonna get reps, but this ain't really for the starters. It's really not. So if you're gonna
ain't got too many starters returning on defense.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit, we ain't got that many returning on offense.
That's true too.
And you can't give Cox no rest because shit, Donald trying to do what he's doing. So
you're right. So
Matt but Matt got to get continuity with the quarterback.
Yeah.
So
I'm just not. I put 0.
Oh, I agree with you.
0.
I agree with you.
Whatever they do in spring football is not going to affect how I feel in fall.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And if I think if you want to take any type of, if you ever get to see, or I was looking at when he talking about the O-line, just a little clips they was watching. I wasn't even, and I didn't even recognize the number of the people that was rushing. So that's why I'm like,
Booster is good, dude. I watched the nose tackle. He's gonna be a problem. He's active. He's probably. I can't remember.
Because
he's the problem.
He told me he liked what he had in nose. He said he liked what he had in nose. I just didn't remember the name.
Washington State.
Okay.
He's gonna be a problem because he's gonna be the most active. He's bully, but fast, but quicker. Remember
what?
He's quicker. Remember how we went from Q, who was just a hold that gap, big, who you couldn't move, then with the bully, bully had a little twitch to him. This guy's bully to me with even a little more twitch.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what we started missing a little bit last year, man. Joker's not taking all the reps they're supposed to be taking. Somebody who can play those techs and not just 0.
To me, the most interesting. To me, run a 3-4. You gotta be strong at nose tackle, your Will and Mike linebacker, and your safeties. Just gonna be serious. I'm starting to come around the linebackers because I don't know you remember when we had Cash Daniels and Jones. They were not the biggest 2 inside linebackers, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Rayner and Afari are more athletic than both of them. But they also had Q in front of them.
Right.
So Gusta's got to man the double team so one of those guards can't come off on the linebacker. And if they don't, those linebackers are quick enough, athletic enough to shoot that gap. Our concern are the 2 safeties. That's my concern. I am not confident that our 2 safeties, when it comes to conference play, can hold up well enough to play winning football consistently, because they did not do it last
year. Yeah, and that's what's going to have to be the consistent part of it. Gonna have to. I guess what I got from last year was I think most of it, and it may have looked, and we talk about this all the time, that it may be not knowing your assignment completely, which makes you look a little slow, which makes you get you out of place.
And it was a problem because one of them started for 3 years, 2.5. That's a problem. That's a problem. You can't ball out Ole Miss game and then come the next 2 games and disappear.
Ole Miss watch tape too. They might know how to manipulate you into something.
That's what I'm just saying.
Give you some window dressing.
You can't be inconsistent, especially at the safety position. I don't give a damn about Ole Miss. John, I don't give a damn. Shit. I hope Ole Miss have more problems than DBs. I hope the whole damn squad sucks.
Man, I ain't got too many. There ain't too many games on here that I'm gung ho about, anyways. Like you said, until I see, like I said, it really ain't gonna be no spring, man. Because like me and somebody else was talking about, if the offense whoop the defense in spring, you're gonna be happy. If the defense whoop the offense, you're gonna be happy. So
it's a no-win situation.
But yeah, now I just want to see our line protect and our quarterback be able to get some balls off, make the right reads. But I don't want to see no leakage. Ooh. But in spring, we ain't bringing nothing. We ain't bringing nothing exotic.
I'm gonna have to find a way to get that Texas game.
When is it? Late again?
October 18th.
Why don't you do that to us?
I gotta get to either Texas or Tennessee game because those are pre-cold weather games.
Yeah.
I got it. No back-to-back weeks. I gotta get to one of those. I'm gonna try. Hopefully, when I get my high school football schedule, then I could see if we got a Thursday night game. One of those.
I don't know. I might go to the stadium this year. I might get in there. They might need to bring some buzz back over there.
Mm-hmm.
They got too used to me not going. Start falling off a little bit.
I feel you.
I might get over. Right. I wouldn't mind seeing Texas up close.
Yeah, that Texas game. Arch gonna be there. Gonna be the quarterback too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What's took him so long?
Because Quinn Ewers was there.
I know, but didn't Peyton come in and say, "Look"? Then
no.
Well, Eli they had to wait.
Yeah, no.
No, so Arch ain't him. They act like Arch was him.
Oh, Arch is the most athletic of the two.
Yeah.
He is an athlete.
Well, we'll have to have his ass running around. All right, man. Man, we might not have no show next week.
Wow, the weather?
Nah, man. I'm regurgitating what we talked about in the show.
Oh.
Start calling for your head, man.
That's fine.
Calling for your head.
Yeah, hey, if they big and bad enough to come to Baton Rouge, well, let's get it.
All right, man. Hey, y'all, we appreciate y'all for coming watching, man. Think about what we said. And if you can get somebody to, I don't know. I'm gonna end it with this. I feel like we appreciate you. Cassidy Rowe, we appreciate everything you've done.
For sure.
I think your comments may have been taken out of context. Maybe an ill thought. Not say ill thought. Maybe the pain is went away, which ain't never gonna go away. Because even when I talk about getting kicked off the team, if I never had a chance to vindicate myself, I don't know how sour I would be.
Right.
But
right.
It might not be a bad idea to cast out an apology, and might have been a little premature in your messaging, or your message was ill received. But other than that, we'll be back next week, maybe.